Saturday, July 25, 2026. Scripture, Ezekiel 30:10-26. Key verses. 10. This is what the sovereign Lord says: I will put an end to the wealth of Egypt by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. 24. I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babylon, and put my sword in his hand. But I will break the arms of Pharaoh. He will groan before him like a mortally wounded man. 26. I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations and disperse them through the countries. Then they will know that I am the Lord. Meditation. Today's passage is actually an earlier prophecy about Egypt than the one we read at the end of chapter 29. Ezekiel did not arrange his book in chronological order. Chapters 26 to 28 focus on God's judgment against Tyre, while chapters 29 to 32 focus on his judgment against Egypt. However, Ezekiel 29:17-21 was given in the 27th year of the exile, much later than most of the prophecies about Egypt, which were received during the 10th to 12th years. Instead of placing it in chronological order, Ezekiel intentionally placed it at the beginning of the section on Egypt. This passage serves as a bridge between the judgment of Tyre and the judgment of Egypt. Nebuchadnezzar spent many years attacking Tyre, but did not receive the reward he expected. God then declared that Egypt would become the reward for his army. The following chapters explain in detail how that judgment on Egypt would take place. By placing this later prophecy first, Ezekiel makes one important point clear. Egypt's downfall was not simply the result of changing international politics. It was an act of God, who was using Babylon as his instrument of judgment. If the book had been arranged strictly by dates, the prophecy in chapter 29 would have appeared much later, and the connection between Tyre and Egypt would have been less obvious. Instead, Ezekiel shows us one continuous story. God judged Tyre. Then he used the same king who judged Tyre to bring judgment on Egypt. In the end, the main character of history is neither Tyre, Egypt, nor Babylon. The true Lord of history is God, who uses every nation and every empire to accomplish his purposes. When we focus only on a single tree, we see the fall of Tyre or the fall of Egypt. But when we step back and look at the whole forest, we see God guiding the rise and fall of nations according to his perfect plan. The same is true in our own lives. If we look only at today's circumstances, many things seem confusing and difficult to understand. But God is weaving every event together into his greater purpose. Faith is not holding on to what we can see today. Faith is trusting the God who rules over history. Today, I want to look beyond the individual trees and see the forest that God is creating. Even when I cannot understand his plan, I choose to trust the one who is directing all of history according to his perfect will.